Hey guys, CNH back here. Got another quick video here for you guys. One of my subscribers requested if I ever get a another Honda HRX, and over here just do a quick video about it specifically. This is actually the first Honda HRX we had here this year, and I just want to do a quick review for you guys of the machine in general for it, because my subscriber wanted to have me do a quick video for this specific machine. This is the Honda HRX217. It's called a Versamo 4-in-1 system on here, primarily because you can mulch and discharge and also bag as well too with these machines, because they do have we don't call attachments specifically for that type of system on here. I believe they do make a side discharge for these machines out there. I can't remember what the actual partner was, but I believe they do make a side discharge attachment where you simply flip up your back of the actual cover back here and put the side discharge unit in place right here for that. The actual model number of this machine right here, I can get a shot here for you. It is, zoom in here a little bit for you, HRX217 3HYA. Serial number MAGA205994 right there. So that's the model number and serial number. And this is the self-propelled model as well too. This has the I believe it's called Xenoloy deck on here. It's basically a high-tech plastic, if you want to call it that specifically. Me personally, I really don't like that design because unfortunately they tend to crack if you hit some kind of a rock or stump out there, as opposed to having a steel deck. Plus these decks have to be reinforced in all the critical components and areas and stuff like that, especially around the engine block on the bottom where it actually bolts to the deck right here. And I personally, if you want to buy a machine that's going to last a long time, just buy the typical steel deck out there and you won't have any kind of cracking problem that may result from this style of deck on here. The only reason they actually came up with this deck was because people wanted a lighter specific deck out there, and they want something you know, to have a lighter, you know, easier to push around your yard or maneuver and stuff like that. But me personally, I'd rather have a steel deck on it, because if you hit something in your yard, especially some kind of rock or a piece of block, or you know, some kind of cinder block, or maybe even a I'm going to call a brick from, you know, somebody's yard sticking up out there, it can possibly go through a deck on it, because these decks are plastic. So just be mindful of that fact if you are shopping around for a new machine out there specifically for that. This engine has, or this machine has, the Easy Start auto choke system on here. There's the engine right here. Easy Start auto choke system, ACS GCV190 engine on here. And in general, the auto choke does work okay. In general, I say that specifically because over time they do start failing over there for one reason or other out there, because some of them have a obelisk that's basically in a small portion on top of the actual cylinder block up here, guys, or they have the secondary feature on here that actually has like a big control banjo arm out here. And me personally, I really don't like either way having an auto choke on here, specifically because if it possibly fails on you, you can't start the machine up properly and it won't run properly as well too. So that's one downside to having an auto choke, because it removes all control from you, so the machine will basically either work or not work out there specifically for that. I will give you a shot of the actual deck underneath here as well too. So let me flip it up here on the side. Here's your deck assembly. This one has the engine blade brake on here specifically for that, and it also has the hydrostatic transmission as well too. So right back here you have your hydrostatic transmission unit right here. It's driven by the belt via the crankshaft underneath the engine right here as well too. This belt is under constant tension, so if your hydrostatic unit starts failing on you and you have proper belt tension on the actual belt right here as well too, more than likely your transmission is shot and you need a new transmission. And unfortunately, the transmissions are not cheap, so just be mindful of that as well too. These things have a dual blade system on here. You got one lower blade and you have one mulch blade on here as well too. The primary blade cuts the grass first, and the secondary blade right here mulches the actual grass, so you get a more cleaner finer cut out there as well too. So in my personal opinion, it works perfectly fine out there. I never really had any kind of problem with it whatsoever, because my Honda HRC had the same exact blade type of system on it as well too, and it mulches the grass a lot cleaner than your typical one blade high lift capacity blade system on like the Sears, MTD, John Deere, Cub Cadet, stuff like that as well too. Plus this also has the blade roto stop or blade brake, whatever you want to call it, right here. This is it right here. This thing goes up and down, it compresses and decompresses right here. That's how your blade brake works specifically for that. Goes up and down on this actual piece right here and flexes like that. That's how your blade brake disengages and engages on the actual crankshaft as well too for that. And in the back, as I said before, you do have your transmission right here. And this is the transmission unit right here specifically. You have your belt. It is a belt driven unit right back here. You have your belt all the way back, right back here, and on the top up there as well too. So this thing is a belt driven unit. The belt is under constant tension out there, so like I said before, if the transmission starts having problems and it's not driving out there, more than likely the transmission is shot and you need a new transmission, so be mindful of that as well too. So we'll flip it up here again. Let me go ahead and flip it up here for you. Okay, we'll go move on to the back portion on here. Here's your bagger assembly right back here. You have your chute right here as well too, guys. That's what your chute assembly looks like. Nothing really in great detail, but that's basically what it is right there specifically for that. Your clip director right here, as they have in the back here, this is the clip director. You have a bag on the left hand side, and you also have mulch on the right hand side. So to engage and disengage that, you simply rotate this thing over. This one's a little bit stiff right here because the guy didn't clean his deck out good enough. You just move it all the way over to that position right there, and that should close off the actual portion underneath here as well too. So I'll flip this back up here. So now it's closed off underneath there as it is right there. So let me get a better shot for you guys. There you go, it's closed off, and that's what it was. So we'll go ahead and open it back up again here. Get this thing out of the way here, move it forward. There we go. It's a good idea to clean these things out as well too, guys, because over time the grass builds up inside these deck assemblies underneath here because of that design. So now it's fully open again down underneath there as well too. So always be mindful and clean your deck assembly out after every single use. And up on top here where the control handle is, you have your control handles for the engine's speed and also the mower's what we'll call drive control here as well too for the actual speed of the transmission. So you have 3 selectors right here. You have the first one, which is fast, the second one is slow, and the third one is stop on here. And as I said before, you have a hydrostatic transmission on this machine, so you have a infinitely variable speed selector here for the transmission selector right here. Here's low speed, there's high speed right there as well too, and here's off all the way back right here as well too. Plus you have your blade control, blade brake assembly right here. In order to test out the blade brake to make sure it's functioning okay, you push down on this piece right here, you push up on the bar, and that's your blade control right there as it is. And to release it, just simply go back like that, and to engage it again, put that again forwards all the way. Your secondary control here is your actual clutch for your drive system right here. So you have 2 things you have to push down directly to engage the drive, and also the actual clutch for the belt or the actual engine's blade brake as well too. The good thing about these Hondas is out here is you have a adjustment underneath here. You have 2 adjustments on here specifically for that. Well, I should say 3 primarily, sorry about that, but that's primarily 2, one for the engine speed, and the third one on here is for the actual cable for the clutch and stuff like that. So you have one here for the clutch right here. You have another one here for the engine speed, and that's let me see here, your third one for the clutch assembly right here as well too. So your clutch assembly goes up here in this first, let me see, move this over here a bit for you here, and there we go right here. That's how that thing flexes back and forth. So your far left one right here is for your clutch. This is your engine speed right here as well too. You have infinitely adjustable right here for your engine's control speed for the actual speed high and low. This one right here is for your clutch. And these things take a 10mm metric wrench right here to adjust it out here, so you can basically fine tune over time if your engine starts wearing for the actual cable right here. So typically like your Sears and MTD do not have that design out there for that, so you can basically adjust it over time. And because most of the time cables do tend to stretch out there, so be mindful of that as well too. That's why they include this specific design in this machine right here as well too, so you can basically fine tune your cable assembly for each need as the years progress. And the third cable on here as well to the other side. Here's your speed selector right here for the actual drive transmission unit down here. This thing is also able to be changed and altered right here as well too, so you have each cable is able to be changed. We'll go ahead and fire this thing up here for that as well too, guys. So let me put it on high speed, we'll put it on fast. Okay, put that all the way forward, put that all the way back right here as well too. Make sure the gas is on. Gas is on, everything's closed off. Make sure you get some gas in the tank right here. I worked on this thing here a couple of days back. I just want to double check it, make sure you get gas in there. Okay. Never know if there's enough gas in there. Sometimes I leave gas in there because most of the time I just leave enough in the bottom of the tank to fire up in front of the customer so they can, you know, pick it up and see it actually run. So bear with me here for a couple of seconds while I put the camera down real quick. Okay, I'm back here. Got the machines fired up here for you. Fire up in one pull, no problems with it whatsoever. And it's running fine. That's how it should start on a normal cold start out here. It's about 48 degrees outside today. So machine fire up in one pull. You cannot ask for better than that. Here's the front of the engine, overhead cam. Here's the exhaust side over here. And we also replaced the rear wheel on the right hand side. Got a brand new wheel on here, plus we also replaced the actual gears inside as well too, plus the actual half moon crescent locking piece that goes on a shaft. So we'll go ahead and gun up the engine and slow it down, anything else like that. There's low speed. Here's your controls for the low speed, high speed. I'll show you that right now. I'll give you a shut of the control panel up here as well too. That's how it should sound, and that should be how it typically functions when you have a good running machine out there. Go ahead and gun it up here a little bit more. Okay, we'll go ahead and engage the blade and also try the drive system on here as well too for you guys. So whenever you want to engage the blade, you got to turn up the full speed as it is right here to engage the blade. And engage the blade by pushing down on the control right here. You push forward. Your blade's engaged, everything works fine, it's not slipping. Blade control is working great, so we'll go ahead and shut it off for that one. And we'll try the transmission now as well too. Make sure it's all the way forward. We'll put on number 1 as it is right now. It's on number 1 default setting. And we'll go ahead and push the drive piece forward right here. And it's barely moving forward because it was cold out here, but it is pulling it forward slightly. So it is pulling it forward. We'll go ahead and move it up to about number 3 or 4 on a setting on there. 1, 2, 3, there's about 4 right there. We'll go ahead and try it again. Push it up with your thumb. Now it's driving perfectly fine. Transmission is going great, no problem. So the drive unit functions okay as it should. I'll go ahead and I'll give you a side shot right here as well too. It's pulling itself forwards. We'll go ahead and put it up on number, I'd say about number 10 on it. That's about the highest setting they have for that thing right here. So it's all the way up on number 10. High speed all the way up. So it's on high speed for high RPM. And we'll go ahead and try the transmission out again here as well too. Now it's really moving, going. So that's about, I'd say it's about 4.5 miles per hour right there. General speed right here, because that's what my owner's manual says in my specific on the lawnmower. So it's about 4.5 miles per hour for a high speed transaxle setting right there for that. So we'll bring it back down. So that's basically everything about the machine. Go ahead and shut it off. So that's basically the general review here for you guys, the HRX217 machine. If anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot about this machine here, just feel free to leave me a message and I'll get back to you with some kind of a basic answer about your machine. So there's another shot. And there's another shot as well too for you guys. So I'll see you guys. Have a nice day.